some of the kids on the wrestling team, because I wrestled for the Harvey Twisters, some of those kids that I knew from wrestling as a kid, they were at the high school wrestling team, you know, so I would pop into practice and I would just like sit there and watch at first. And then this kid, Isaac, who actually just recently passed away, he was a professional fighter too.
Wow.
Yeah, Isaac Watkins, he's really talented.
How did he pass away?
I'm getting emotionally, I don't want to start talking about that, but
Okay, we won't.
yeah, no, it's all good. I just don't want to start crying.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, but he passed away. He was 19 and he was a wrestler too. So I seen him at the high school, and he was like, yo, why don't you like just get on the mat and come wrestle with me? Like, I know you're a good wrestler and stuff. You just went to college and was wrestling. But I did better in college than I did in high school.
Yeah.
In the short little time that I was there. He was like, no, just help me wrestle. Like, wrestle with me. So I started wrestling with him, and then that turned into like just me going consistently and wrestling with the kids in high school. And then I just got like the spirit for competition back, and I wanted to like just start competing again in like in something.
We're live, another episode of Adversity Kings. So we have a special guest, another recommendation, professional MMA fighter. Help me pronounce your name.
Beau Samaniego.
Beau Samaniego?
Yeah, Samaniego.
Samaniego.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's the nationality? What's the name?
Mexican.
Mexican?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go, brother. So are you from were you born and raised in Chicago or Mexico?
From Chicago.
Oh, okay, cool. Where are your parents from?
My dad's from LA and my mom is from Sauk Village, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
I don't really have any like family from Mexico like that. My dad's side is from California when it was part of Mexico.
Oh, okay.
And my mom's side is my mom's actually Polish and Assyrian.
There's a lot of Polish out here. I'd say 30% of the company, 30% of my company is Polish right now. There's so many Polish people
right.
here. So when did you get into fighting?
About 6 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. So to 6 years, that's pretty quick to get.
Yeah.
Did you do stuff before, like any type of?
I've been wrestling my whole life. I wrestled for the Harvey Twisters, like growing up, and then I just continued through high school. And I didn't even really do that good in high school. I just was really interested in it, you know. And then I went to school. I paid for my tuition to go for a semester of school at a University of Wisconsin-Platteville. And I ended up dropping out because I had really bad grades. I wasn't even going to school, to be honest. I was just into wrestling like that. And that's like what I wanted to do. And then basically I got kicked off the wrestling team over there. And I just started doing like a couple MMA classes like at the place that they, like it was on campus type thing, you know what I mean? Everything all good.
You're looking weird. Is everything good?
We're all good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
She's like making weird looks. I was like, oh, fuck. With every podcast, you ever get in a podcast and you realize like every 25 or 50 you like lose one, so it's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
But so you get into side MMA classes.
Yeah, I just started doing like little side MMA classes, learned a little bit, and then came back home out here, and then like I was just working like little dead end jobs. I was working as a janitor at Thornton High School in Harvey.
Okay.
And was doing that for about 2 years, and it was just depressing. I hated it. Like, because I went to Thornwood High School. It's just like in the same district. It was just like working as a janitor at the fucking high school you went to.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, it's
it was just horrible. So I quit that, and then I worked on a farm in Oak Forest, Illinois, Forest View Farms. And I was working out there, and I was a farmhand, so I was cleaning up. Went from being a janitor to cleaning up horse manure.
Yeah,
basically.
I grew up on a farm, so I remember
so
cleaning out horse stalls.
I was doing that, and I was getting paid like $500 a week cash, and I actually did that for like 4 years.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I really liked that. That was really cool. But then I don't know, I missed like competing, and at my little stint as a janitor, basically during that time, like I was way younger than everyone that was working there. They're all like 60-year-old. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I would like work really fast, get my little stuff that I had to do done. And then, because I worked in the afternoon, so I worked from like 4 till like midnight, basically. So at like 4 o'clock, I would get there. And some of the kids on the wrestling team, because I wrestled for the Harvey Twisters, some of those kids that I knew from like wrestling as a kid, they were at the high school wrestling team, you know? So I would pop into practice and I would just like sit there and watch at first. And then this kid, Isaac, who actually just recently passed away, he was a professional fighter too.
Wow.
Isaac Watkins, he's really talented.
How did he pass
I'm
away?
getting emotionally, I don't want to start talking about that, but
Okay, we won't.
yeah, no, it's all good. I just don't want to start crying.
Yeah,
about it.
no, you're good.
Yeah, but he passed away. He was 19, and but he was a wrestler too. So I seen him at the high school, and he was like, "Yo, why don't you like just get on the mat and come wrestle with me? Like I'm doing my thing. I know you're a good wrestler and stuff. You just went to college and was wrestling, and I was pretty good. Like I did better in college than I did in high school.
Yeah.
In short little time that I was there, and he was like, no, just help me wrestle. Like wrestle with me. So I started wrestling with him, and then that turned into like just me going consistently and wrestling with the kids in high school. And then I just got like the spirit for competition back, and I wanted to like just start competing again in something. So I hit up my old wrestling coach's son, who was a matchmaker for like V3 promotions. It's like big Bryce Mitchell came out of there. A couple other like big guys.
That's where I'm from, Little Rock.
Okay, yeah, Arkansas.
Yep.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah.
I didn't know there was like good fighting down there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good fighters out there.
I'm seeing come out of Little Rock right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of good fighters out of Arkansas.
And I think Mitchell hit Twister twice in the UFC, or at least once.
Yeah, at least once. I know. I think he did. If he didn't hit it once, he went for it a lot of times and almost had it. Like,
and then he had a great fight against Edwin Barbosa, I think. And
yeah,
I was like,
it's crazy. I was just watching his fight today. Like, even against Taporia, like he had good moments in that fight too.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
even though he lost, but it was a good fight. But yeah, I hit up him and I was like, yo, I've been wrestling like every day. I've been like trying to learn some boxing stuff. Like, get me a fight, you know? Like, and he was like, pretty much laughed me off. Like, where do you even train at? And I was like, I don't. I'm training myself. Yeah. I didn't really know anything about MMA at the time.
Yeah.
I grew up watching boxing and stuff and didn't really like wasn't really paying attention to MMA for some reason. Even though I wrestled and stuff like that, just wasn't watching it. So he put me on with this gym, G2, the gym that I go to now.
How far is that from here?
It's about 45 minutes from here.
Is it closer to you?
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes from where I live.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I've just been there the whole time, and then ever since
who's been the biggest help in your career?
Just the overall team, just G2 in general. Yeah, when I came there, it was like I felt like I was almost at like a dead end road in life. You know, I was really like depressed at the time just because how my life was going.
Yeah.
And then the people I met there really, you know, pulled me out of that, and then have helped me accomplish like really great things in the ring.
Who's the baddest guy to come out of that camp?
I want to say Clay Guida's probably the best known. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a big name.
Yeah.
So and how?
Me and Jose Perez though, we're next.
I was gonna say next up.
Yeah.
When did Clay did he retire?
No, I think he's still fighting. Actually,
he's still fighting.
Yeah, he's got some. I think he's going for most fights in the UFC.
I think he's coming up on a fight card.
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's coming up on one of those. The regular UFC fight cards. But
I wasn't there to get to train with him and all. He was like he was already like he moved on to Team Alpha Male and stuff in California, but he was originally out of there. Yeah.
That's dope. So now, with your fighting career, when did you go pro? Let's kind of go there before I start jumping around all over the place.
I want to say when did the coronavirus happen?
Yeah.
2019?
Yeah.
Yeah, so about, I want to say 2018 or 2019 I turned pro because I made my pro debut, and I basically got poked in the eye. I won the fight in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay. But like the first opening sequence, like the guy just like poked me in the eye and I broke my orbital floor just from getting poked like super hard. And I had to take 6 months off, and then because I couldn't do any like physical activity because basically like I got poked in the eye and then I went home the next day, and like I was fine. Like I was seeing double during the fight, like for the quick time that it was happening. Yeah. But I went home the next day and I blew my nose and my eye just was swelled up like super crazy. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it was weird. But I had to take like some time off for that, and then I couldn't do any physical activity for like 6 months because like even lifting weights would make my eye blow up. So yeah, I couldn't do anything, and then I took another like basically it took 6 months just to get back into shape. You know what I mean? Like after that, so it was going on like a year that I didn't fight, and then basically I had a fight scheduled, and then the coronavirus happened, and that just set everything back for like a year and 8 months, and then I came back, had a fight, and I lost, and then ever since then though I just kind of shook the rust off since then, and then been on a roll winning fights. Yeah.
So I heard you say you're on a 5-fight win streak.
Yeah, 5-fight winning streak.
Who's the biggest name you've recently beat?
I would say probably Lance Lawrence. He was on the Contender Series, the Dana White Contender Series. Yeah.
Let's go. And then what weight do you fight out of?
145.
145.
Yeah.
What do you walk?
Probably about 175 sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a hard cut for you?
I'm not always that. Like right after, probably that's like the heaviest I'll ever get. But like once I'm like in fight mode, I'd be like 165. It'd be way less.
Yeah. Was that 20 pounds? Is that still?
Not really. I'm used to it from wrestling. Yeah. And it's a science now. You know, they got like the water loading and stuff. When I was like, I would cut like 20 pounds in wrestling when I was in school. Yeah. And I didn't know anything about water loading. We just would like put the sauna suits on and just run until you made weight, basically. So, yeah, the science really helped out, and then just keeping my diet clean really helps.
Yeah. So, what's your nutrition look like to go? How many rounds are you able to go?
I could really go like all day, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I could just. I've always been like that. I could just really go like.
You got a heart.
Yeah.
Kind of like Ferguson, dude just goes.
Yeah.
So what about like for you nutrition wise? Like what are you eating that kind of like? What do you think contributes to that outside of like just having the mentality of like I can just go? Like what are some things that contributes to?
Definitely the running. I love to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing running and just getting on the road and.
What do you run daily? Like.
Yeah, run like 2 miles a day.
2 miles
daily,
a day.
Yeah.
And that helps you be.
That's
able to
if I'm being like really. That's like if I'm really motivated. Otherwise, I'll probably space it out like 8 miles a week or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
With one long run, like a 5 to 6 mile run at the end of the week.
Will you spar a lot?
Yeah. I probably spar too much, to be honest. Yeah. I really love to spar and I just like fighting more than like doing like the other technical stuff. And I feel like that really helps my gas tank too, because I'm always like going at that high fight pace level. So then when I get in the fight, I'm used to that, you know.
And how's your jiu-jitsu?
Pretty good. Yeah.
What would you say like? I'm not a big belt guy. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
But like, what would you say like your belt is?
I'm a blue belt.
Blue belt.
Yeah.
But you've been wrestling for a while, so you're probably honestly closer to like a purple belt.
Yeah.
Like realistically, it depends. Like if you move like the wrestlers that I roll with, like a really good wrestler, I'll see them catch purple belts more often than not.
I mean, like, I fought this guy, DeAndre Anderson. I'm pretty sure he's like a purple belt. And the guy, Lance Lawrence, he's a brown belt. I fought Alberto Rodriguez. He's a black belt. And, like, I did pretty handily on the ground. You could watch the fights. Like, I did pretty good on the ground against them. Yeah, Lance Lawrence, he's a brown belt. He's a good brown belt, too. And I almost submitted him, like, 3 times in the fight, yeah.
What's your go-to submission if you are going to go for
just
submission?
the guillotine. I have a really good sequence of the guillotine, anaconda, and darce, and I can chain them all together.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I do this weird thing where if you shoot on me, I'll grab your head.
Yeah.
And it's almost like freestyle wrestling. I'll kind of kick you through.
Yeah.
You'll fall back forward and then
cement mixer is what I wrestled for a year or two. We called it a cement mixer.
Yeah.
I used to bait out the single leg because I hated shooting, and then a guy was shooting.
I hate shooting too. I'd rather just like play defense and like get my front headlock and try to spin behind.
Especially when you're doing, obviously when you're wrestling, you can't play those moves. But like jiu-jitsu, a street fight, it's like absolutely I'll stick my leg out there and you know what I mean. Some idiot will try to grab it, and it's like
they always say too. I forget who says this. I think Chael Sonnen says it's like when someone grabs your leg, does he have your leg or do you have both of his hands?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, while he has your hand, you could be punching him like this doing, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's what
MMA is a lot different.
That's one thing I do. If I went to a wrestling practice recently at Izzy Style to try to get back into the wrestling. Yeah. That was way different than jiu-jitsu. Like, I got a jiu-jitsu tank. Like, I could go a couple rounds of jiu-jitsu, be fine. Bro, I did this practice with like, and these are like kids, dude.
Yeah, like high school kids. Yeah, those are like the worst. I hate wrestling like the kids in high school because they're just so full energy and they're trying to take you down the whole time. Bro. Like they're like, oh, this is a grown man, and you know what I mean? Like I gotta take this guy down,
dude. And I'm like, these butterball kids out working me, out running, and I'm like, I'm throwing up, and I'm like, what the? Like this doesn't make any sense because jiu-jitsu, it's like, I could feel like I could roll alive for an hour. You know what I mean? But dude, you wrestle live for like 5 minutes, and it's like, holy shit. And we did Greco. It was a Greco style. So they said that's like more of it's a little easier than the typical like high school you do folk style.
Oh yeah, because you're not really shooting on the legs.
Yeah,
like
you're not doing legs.
You're just doing
some throws and shit. So that was hard. But I was getting into with the wrestling, what I've seen, and I think I don't know if a study came out a few years ago, but I believe it's like specifically with the UFC promotion. I think it's 90% of UFC champions have a wrestling background. Yeah. And it's insane because when people are like, well, what should I focus on if I want to be pro MMA? And I hear all the time. I have Wagner Rocha. Do you watch any jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So I have Wagner Rocha on the podcast.
I was actually just watching that before I came in here.
Yeah, and he said, he's like, wrestling. You've got, even with jiu-jitsu, you've got to
you have to have wrestling. Yeah.
And I think even I like the more so the defense side of wrestling, having a good sprawl, having a good front headlock system, being able to do sit outs. You know what I mean? If somebody gets, so many times I'll see guys in jiu-jitsu, someone will take their back on the feet and just launch them, throw. It's like they don't know how to sink their hips right, start fighting the hands or reaching back for another leg. And I don't know, dude. It's vital.
Even jiu-jitsu, like my guy Jose, he's a really good jiu-jitsu player. Like I said, he has UFC Fight Pass Submission of the Year. He had a banana split submission.
The banana split?
Yeah, he had a banana split. Yeah. But basically,
that thing right there. You see that metal with the red handles? That silver pole with the red handles? Right behind that light. Yeah. You see that? Yeah. That is a split trainer because someone did that to a banana split to me. It's called an electric chair.
Yeah.
And so I was like, if I get put into it, they're not gonna tap me. So that like trains the fucking like splits.
Keep you flexible.
But what were you saying?
He always says like not all jiu-jitsu is created equal. You know, it's like I really feel like the top game like this the old school jiu-jitsu. Like if you look at like Hoist Gracie, even though it was like a different time, but like the positions around those, like get into mount and get into the knee on belly positions are like they're key in MMA. You know, it's like I really like that aspect of like jiu-jitsu for MMA. You know? Yeah.
You like to stand and bang when you're fighting, or you ground and pound, top mount? You like the back?
Honestly, I sometimes I almost like turn it into a pissing contest. Like it's almost like if you think you're good at jiu-jitsu, then I might try to beat you at jiu-jitsu. Or if you think you're good at stand up, I'll try to beat you at stand up. Yeah. I could do both. Yeah.
Do you like kicks?
I'm more just a boxer.
More of a boxer?
Yeah, I train in a boxing gym like 3 times a week, so I do a lot of boxing.
Do you train? Obviously you do, but have you experienced the calf kicks? I hear that a lot of like, what does that feel like? Because I don't know if I've really been calf kicked.
That's a weird one because you can't even really check it, and it's just kind of I never had it in a fight, but I have a training partner, Skylar Lindsay, and he is really good at the calf kick.
Yeah,
and like. I remember for a while I almost couldn't walk for like 2 months. Like every time someone would kick me like in my leg, it would just re-irritate it, and it would just like be the worst thing ever. Yeah, it gets in like that little muscle in between there.
So are they landing it on the side, or are they like spinning around to try to hit the back of the calf?
I really think he's just straight kicking you right in the calf. Like he just as hard as he can will just kick you in the calf, and it doesn't even have to be like super hard. It could just touch you the right way. Yeah.
It's like a Charlie horse, like a forever Charlie horse.
It's like you just have to throw it a little lower. Just like it's almost easier to land than a regular leg kick.
Yeah. That's nuts. I remember used to box, like basically just do a full out MMA matches in our basement when I first got into Sound Insurance, and I remember we'd throw kicks too, and you get kicked in the arm, and obviously we weren't blocking correct or stuff, and your whole arm would like shut down.
even if you block the kick, it still hurts you.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, like, how do these guys go 5-minute rounds and taking it's like the adrenaline's so high.
You feel like a car wreck the next day.
Yeah, I was
it's crazy. Yeah,
I'm like thinking like, but even like even with the adrenaline high there, like just doing like these little MMA matches we were doing, I'm like, dude, this shit hurts. Like extending my arm right now is like damn near impossible after being kicked in it. But even with that, I think, especially people that watch and like have never been into a fight, would you agree? Obviously, getting hit in general is like fucking sucks, but like body shots for me was always worse.
I love body shots. That's my thing right there.
Getting hit in the body.
Oh, getting hit in the body. That's the
sucks. Worst.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I'd rather you punch me in the face than in the body.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, punch me in the face, that sucks, but, like, the body and, like, you can't breathe, and then you get punched in the face? Oh, my God.
Way worse, yeah.
Way worse. But you like going for the body?
Yeah. So when I started boxing, this guy hit me with a body shot and, like, just sat me down, like, so bad. And ever since then, I was like, I got to learn how to do that.
Well, that's like, did you watch the Tank and Garcia fight?
Oh, yeah.
You think that was legit? Or you think...
Yeah, I think that was legit.
You think he was injured prior to going into that fight?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But... It doesn't really matter. Yeah,
it's like everyone's injured.
Yeah, everyone has some type of injury going in. Yeah, literally.
My partner, he's a brown belt. He's actually coming out to do competition this weekend, Grappling Industries, I think. And so he said his coach is like a jiu-jitsu, like wrestling, like I call it like catch style.
Catch wrestling, yeah.
Yeah. So like he's a high school wrestling coach, I'm pretty sure, but also he runs a jiu-jitsu gym. Mm-hmm. And I think he had told him, you know what I mean? Somebody had broken their finger or something like that, but he told my partners, like, when you're doing, you know, some type of fighting sport, there's never a time that you're not hurt,
injured, yeah,
or injured.
Something,
you know what I mean? So it's like something's always. And he was like telling his guys, like, you got to show up in practice, and if you're waiting for you to feel good, you're never going to show up in practice.
Yeah,
because you're always going to be hurt.
Yeah, it's going to be something wrong.
Something.
I mean, yeah.
Something. I went last night to roll, and I was like, I don't want to fucking go roll. I should just I hit my knee off this jet ski on Monday, and that shit hurt. And then I'm rolling last night, and you ever roll around and someone you meet shin to shin?
Oh, that sucks. Or like when you're on the bottom and someone tries to pass.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Just right into my shin. And your shins are probably built up better than mine, but holy shit, that shit hurt, dude. I'm like pissed the whole time.
I go with a lot of wrestlers, so sometimes when they're shooting the double, and then like and I pull their arms up, I get scratched, man, on the back of my legs. I got like scars on the back of my legs from people scratching me.
Yeah,
it's like
really fight for that double.
Yeah,
Don't hang
really
on to
going
that.
for that shit.
Yeah. What was growing up for you like, man?
Yeah, just humble beginnings, really. Yeah, just small town, small family. Yeah.
Who were you closest with growing up, mom or dad?
My mom.
Mom?
Yeah.
And then are you still close with mom?
I was still close to my dad, but my mom and dad, like, they got divorced when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So I stayed with my mom throughout high school.
And did you stay close with her? Are you still close with her?
Yeah, I'm real close to my mom. Yeah.
Would you say who's your biggest supporter through life and your fighting career? Because that's a hard path.
You know, my girlfriend Cindy, I'd have to say.
Yeah. Big supporter.
Yeah.
That's good. And what's more so like the vision? Where you 5-10 years from now? Obviously, you know, you want to be a champion, but like outside of like what promotion you want to be a champion for, and then like where you want to live. What's your vision look like?
I really want to be like UFC champion. That's not. Yeah. I just want to you know, just continue to do these fights and just live for the experience, really, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the UFC is something I definitely want to accomplish, you know? That's my current goal.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I feel like I'm really, like, I really love that aspect of it, like, accomplishing goals, like little goals, whatever it may be, like little fitness goals, that's, like, keeps me motivated and happy in life, you know? Mm-hmm. So, like, having these fights is, like, every time I get to fight and win, is like I accomplished a goal, you know? And that's more like what it's about for me. It's like I don't know, it's a weird thing.
Now, have you I'm thinking because he just popped up in my head. I had Ricardo Lamas on my podcast too, and he was a contender.
Yeah.
So, and you know he beat
he's fought a lot of guys. He's fought Max Holloway.
He fought Max Holloway, but he beat Oliveira with a guillotine.
Did he really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A little before Oliveira was popping.
Yeah.
But he caught Oliveira with a guillotine, bro. And I paid him for a couple sessions, private sessions. He's nice at wrestling. Yeah. Nice at wrestling, nice at jiu-jitsu, and overall really nice guy.
Yeah.
Real nice guy. But he's got a UFC gym in Naperville, I think. Mm. Yeah. So he's a dope dude.
That's awesome.
What about shit outside of fighting? You know what I mean? Like, obviously that's probably where you spend a majority of your life, but what are you eating? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Like,
I like to travel. Yeah, me and my girl are always going downtown eating like nice restaurants and shit like that. Yeah.
What's the favorite place?
I just went to this place, Eddie V's, with my boy Skylar. It was real nice.
Yeah,
I like
Eddie V's is nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yep. What about like video games, movies, TV shows, any like hobbies outside of traveling?
Not really, man. Honestly, I'm just really I'm so stuck on this fighting shit right now.
You gotta be.
I'm playing video games though all the time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing that Ghost of Tsushima samurai game. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Sounds
good. I think it's one of the best games I've ever played. Yeah.
My buddy just beat. And
I'm usually not even into that kind of stuff, but the graphics are so good on it. This is
Do you
like
play
crazy.
PC or on a system?
PS5.
PS5.
Yeah.
No, I had a PS5 when I first got out here, and then I was like, I gotta focus a little more on the business.
Yeah.
I was playing Assassin's Creed Vikings.
Okay. Yeah.
It was pretty decent. But my buddy said he just beat Diablo 4 or something. I have no idea how this shit works.
No, I never played that.
That seems too extensive. I don't know if I
played
have
Call
the
of
time.
Duty too, Warzone and stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, getting on the Warzone. Yeah.
That's dope. What about what about favorite music? You have a music?
Yeah, I like Tupac. I like old school rap music, yeah.
Yeah.
Really West Coast too. My dad's from from LA, like
Yeah.
the Southgate, California.
Yeah.
It's like a neighborhood over from Compton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My boy put me on this guy. You got to check him out. His name's Wes Watson,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he's from that California area. Have you ever seen a movie like Shot Caller? You got to watch this movie. It's about this nice white dude that goes to prison and ends up. You have to click up apparently in prison for the most part, and dude goes out. He's in California and like ends up coming out like. Basically, he's got to be a part of like the white group. You know what I mean? So you know what he had to be.
Yeah,
so,
do some shit.
but this dude's like all tatted up, comes out like an absolute like menace. But it's a dope ass movie. But Wes Watson reminds me of this guy, and he did 10 years over in Cali. He's a multimillionaire now. Sells like fitness programs or something like that. But very motivational. He's got like that hardcore like West Coast vibe. Always playing Tupac and shit like that. But do you feed your mind with anything like? The motivation or any type of inspiration, any reading or anything like that to keep you going and like psych yourself out outside of the rap music?
Not really. I don't know, honestly. Nah, I'm not really into like big like motivational quotes and stuff like that.
When you really want it, you don't need none of that. shit.
I just I'm so like motivated on that shit that it's just I just kind of do my own thing, man. Yeah.
Dope. Do you have any information on next fight? On where people can support you, where people can find you?
I haven't had any word about my next fight. I just had one like almost 3 weeks ago. So I haven't heard anything what's next. But I'm looking to get back in there like around September, hopefully.
Yeah.
Under the same promotion, Cage Fury.
Okay.
They're based out of Philadelphia or Atlantic City, I want to say, one of them, but just the East Coast.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
And then, you have anybody in mind you want to fight?
Hopefully Paul Capaldo. I think that's me and him would probably be a good fight.
Yep.
He fought my guy Jose, who's the current champion there. It was a really good fight. You should check that out. It was like super bloody. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But he's I think he's 7-1 now, so I'm 6-1. So yeah, it makes sense. Me and him, yeah.
Dope. Awesome. So this is help me with the last name, Beau
Samaniego.
Yeah. So make sure you guys tune in, check him out. Another episode, little MMA episode. If you guys are finding value, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to see, different guests or you have guests in mind, please make recommendations. Make sure you rate the podcast and the channel as well. We appreciate. We don't ask or monetize off anything. So just getting content out to you guys is our #1 priority. So shout out to everybody. Shout out you, Beau. Have a great day.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on.